Well, spirituality and discipleship is one of our taster modules, and it's good as a taster module because it really is an attempt to answer the question, what is spirituality? And in particular, what is Christian spirituality? Really basic question. Although, as it turns out, a more difficult or richer question than you might think at first. We explore this question in two main ways. Firstly, by way of a conversation. It's a conversation between some of the more familiar elements of spirituality or Christian spirituality, such as questions like, what is spirituality and what does the word spirit really mean? Questions about prayer. And we want to bring that into conversation with contemporary science. One of our hopes is that by doing this course, people will get quite excited about the ways in which science, or various aspects of science, can stimulate our thoughts and enrich our thoughts, and indeed even our practice of spirituality. So that's one side. The other thing is that we incorporate into this module the requirement that students take up some spiritual practices. And some of them are very personal, like pray the Psalms. Others are more unusual, like adopt veganism for a month, or switch the television off for a week.
It was nice to know that the simple things can be a spiritual practice as long as you're able to kind of focus it in a certain manner, alongside prayer and reflection.
I used to be a very, very keen museum visitor, but I now have health problems that make it a little bit difficult, quite tiring going around a museum. And because pilgrimage was quite a feature of the suggested spiritual practices, to me, going around the British Museum felt like a pilgrimage because it would be a real effort. So I booked a wheelchair on a specific day, and actually it really built my confidence in museum visiting again. So I have been to other exhibitions using a wheelchair since, and I probably wouldn't have maybe tried that on my own without having the push from the module.
Our hope is that in doing the practices and joining in the conversations for the sessions of this module, students will experience new ways of feeling and knowing the relationships in which they exist.
On the practical side, I became vegan for 2 weeks, and then I also took up doing the Jesus prayer, which is kind of two practical things I took up in that. The vegan thing's actually followed through. I'm not on vegan now, I'm pescatarian, trying to be vegetarian. So that's actually followed through. And that actually massively changed my whole kind of outlook on life and kind of creation, and where I sit in it and how I want to kind of, I guess, mix with that whole creation. So that module was actually in terms of real life kind of practicality, and I guess just taking away from just books and reading. That's actually probably the best for me, actually looking back on it, that I'll definitely take forward my whole life, I think.